Hi, thanks for joining me today for this presentation on healthy living after a stroke. Today we're going to focus on how participating in the things we need to do or want to do, or what I call occupations, affect our health. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Zira, and I've been an occupational therapist since 2001. I've worked with people who have had a stroke throughout my career. If you're wondering what occupational therapy is, stay tuned. We'll talk more about that in upcoming slides. I'm also an educator. I have the privilege of teaching future occupational therapists. An important topic we're going to discuss today is how the things we do shape our health. So beyond my work life, I'd like to share with you a little bit more about myself. I'm a wife, aunt, daughter, niece, and granddaughter. You can see in this bottom left picture me as a teenager with my great-grandmother and my uncle. Like many, family has been very influential to me as I've made my life choices. My great-grandmother was often a caregiver to me as I was growing up. She lived in a mobile home in our backyard, so she was the person my parents turned to when I needed to stay home from school, and in turn it was often my responsibility to care for her as I was growing up. For instance, it was my job to carry her groceries and check on her regularly. I'm not sure if you can tell from this picture, but my uncle is in a wheelchair. He's showing off his van, which was the first van he purchased in which he was able to be the driver. My uncle had a spinal cord injury when he was 15 years old. Therefore, disability was always a part of my life growing up. Adapting our home, helping him with his self-care. These are life experiences that have greatly influenced my choices to work with clients who've had disabilities. Working with clients with disabilities and seniors has always been a passion for me because of these life experiences. On the next few slides, we're going to start talking about what things in life we enjoy doing most. So I thought I'd start off by sharing my favorite activities with you. I enjoy running throughout the year, even in our Chicago winters. Wool socks are my best friend. I'm also an amateur knitter and enjoy making baby blankets for new members of our family. And I've been a dog lover my whole life. I love the way dogs have a zest for life and are never happier than when they're taking a walk. As I said earlier, I'm an occupational therapist. Many people have never heard of occupational therapy. My favorite way of explaining occupational therapy is that we help people do the things they need to do, want to do, or are expected to do. We use the word occupation to describe those daily activities that we help people participate in. Some people have trouble returning to their occupations after a stroke or other illness. For example, if you had a stroke, you may have difficulty preparing meals because one side of your body is weaker. An OT can help you either strengthen that side of the body or develop different strategies to return to cooking. Occupational therapists use the power of occupation to rehabilitate their clients. So rather than giving the client who had a stroke exercises to strengthen their arm, they would have the client practice reaching into their cupboards. Or as we can see in this picture, the client might be working on their balance, so they're practicing bringing the coffee cup to the table. Because OTs believe in the power of occupation, they also work in health promotion. They might provide a falls screening event, participate in advocacy events to improve access to the community, or provide education sessions such as this one. Let's talk a little bit more about what occupations are and why they're important. Occupations are the activities that we do every day, the tasks that give meaning to our lives. What is something you did today that you needed to do? Likely you got up and got dressed. You might have made a breakfast or other meal. What's something you did today that you wanted to do? Maybe you read the newspaper, checked Facebook, or took a walk. What's something today that you were expected to do? Perhaps you had a family obligation you needed to attend, or did some chores around your home. These are all great examples of what we call occupations. But why are occupations important? They structure our time and they help us develop roles and routines. What's something you did today that was part of your normal routine? We often have routines around getting cleaned up and dressed in the morning. Sometimes we have routines around caring for our pets or exercise. Occupations give us a sense of identity and meaning. One of the first questions we often ask each other is, what do you do? Many of us define ourselves by the things we do, as teachers, as knitters, as fishermen. I clearly remember my grandpa identifying as a fisherman in his retirement. What's an example of an occupation that shapes your identity? Maybe you identify as a grandparent, a chef or a cook, a dancer. Occupations are also important to our health and quality of life. They keep our bodies moving and our minds working. What's an occupation you did today that supported your health or your well-being? Maybe you went for a walk, read the paper, or called a friend. Throughout our lifespan, we face challenges that impact our ability to participate in our favorite occupations. We may face physical changes that make it more difficult to participate in activities that we enjoy. For example, after a stroke, some people are weaker on one side and might find it difficult to knit with two hands, ride a bike, or zip up a jacket. Additionally, there are a variety of ways that social impacts may affect our ability to participate in our occupations. At the moment, the leading social impact we're probably thinking of is the impact of COVID-19 and the global pandemic. Many of us have not been able to participate in the occupations we enjoy with our families, whether that's a Saturday night dinner, playing with grandkids, or participating in our holiday traditions. Many of us experience different social impacts throughout our lifespan. Friends may move to live closer to their families, or sometimes we might lose touch with our friends if we haven't returned back to work after our stroke. Finances often impact the choices we make regarding what activities we choose or are able to participate in. For many people, their stroke has greatly impacted their income, which impacts on their choices of which occupations they can participate in. They may choose not to participate in social activities such as a dinner out with friends, or not to travel because of the cost. These barriers impact our sense of who we are, reduce our ability to feel we're contributing to society, or impede our personal growth. Within this seminar, we will address how we can continue to participate in occupations that we love despite these barriers. Why are occupations important for our health? Our occupations keep our bodies moving and our minds working. Can you recall a time when you enjoyed doing something so much you lost track of time? Often when we're doing things we really enjoy, we'll work harder and longer. If you're taking a walk with a friend and enjoying the conversation and the view, you'll likely walk longer and farther than if you're walking on a treadmill. If you're playing a game you enjoy or reading a book you love, you'll spend more time exercising your brain. What's an occupation you've participated in this week that was good for your health? You might have cooked for your family, taken a walk, read a book, played an instrument, or played a game. Are there occupations you haven't participated in since your stroke that you'd like to get back to? At this point, you've probably already identified how much transportation affects our ability to participate in our occupations. It affects the things we need to do, like going to the doctor, the things we want to do, like going places we enjoy, such as the beach or the movies, and the things we're expected to do, like purchasing groceries for our family. Some people can no longer drive a car or use public transportation after a stroke. Are there other options you've used to get the places you need to go? Where I live in Chicagoland, if you have a qualifying disability, you can apply for paratransit services. This is a service that will pick you up door to door within the coverage area of the Regional Transit Authority. Most counties have a similar program for their residents who can no longer drive due to a disability. Some folks who no longer drive like to use rideshare options like Uber and Lyft. If you have a smartphone, you can call these services right from your phone. Another thing about these options is it's very easy for a family member to call the car for you, even if they're not physically with you. Uber also has services for people with disabilities. Sometimes it can be helpful to create a regular schedule with family or friends. You can make a plan to have a friend give you a ride to your book study each week, or schedule a regular grocery shopping trip with a family member. Sometimes it's unclear if it's safe to return to driving after a stroke. You can work with a driver's rehab specialist to help you assess your safety with driving. Here in Chicago, we have a number of occupational therapists who provide rehab for driving. Sometimes people who need extra support work with an occupational therapist to practice using public transportation, learning to use a car ride service, or creating those plans to have others help you with driving. It's difficult to participate in our occupations if we don't feel safe. Here are a few quick tips to keep our homes safe. First, be sure to lock your doors and windows. Did you know most burglaries happen during the day when we're not at home? Make sure your home is secure before you leave the house. If your locks are damaged or you've lost track of who has extra keys in your home, replace your locks. Many of us feel more comfortable knowing where an extra key is in case of emergency. Don't hide spare keys in predictable places such as under the mat. It's much safer to leave one with a trusted neighbor or in a hidden lockbox. Don't tempt burglars by leaving expensive items out where they can see them, and keep important documents in a secure place. To be successful in our occupations at home, it's important to be able to navigate through your home safely. Here are a few simple things you can do to prevent falls at home. First, pick up throw rugs or make sure they're safely affixed to the floor. Throw rugs are notorious for sliding under our feet or getting caught by our toe. It's also important to keep the areas you navigate through clear. Have someone help you move furniture out of the way so that you have adequate room to walk, and keep items such as newspapers or power cords off the floor. Keep commonly used items within reach to prevent having to bend down or reach up high. For example, keep your most commonly used pot in an easy-to-reach place, or even just keep it out on the stove. A place many of us have safety concerns is the bathroom. Consider installing a chair or a bench or grab bars. Make sure the floor of your tub or shower has a non-skid surface. You can install simple stickers to provide more traction, or a rubber mat. Also, make sure your rug outside of the tub or shower has a rubber backing to prevent slipping on the tile floor. If you feel you need more help or guidance on assessing the safety of your home, an occupational therapist can complete a home safety evaluation, make recommendations, and help you learn how to use the recommended equipment. Sometimes an OT, PT, or physician may recommend equipment to increase your safety while participating in your occupations. While insurance may pay for a few select pieces of equipment, often it falls on us to purchase this equipment. It can often be less expensive to purchase things like bath chairs and shower chairs at retail stores such as Walmart or Lowe's than a medical supply store. A handy tip to know is that while Walmart's pharmacy may not have equipment such as this in stock, their pharmacist can order it for you. If you're an online shopper, it can be helpful to search several stores for the best price. Another great option is a lending closet. Lending closets are typically run by nonprofit organizations and provide equipment to people for free. You just return it when you no longer need it, kind of like a library for safety equipment. You can do an online search for a lending closet or ask the local professionals you work with if they have a list. Social relationships are very important for our mental health. Think of that good feeling you had last time you really connected with a friend. Doing things with others is motivating and helps keep us active as well. Our relationships inevitably change over time due to a death in the family, moving, or disability. These changes can affect us in many ways. After a stroke, we might not be able to participate in the activities we used to do with friends. It's understandable to feel sad or depressed because we miss our friends and our time interacting with them. Healthy social relationships enable us to participate in our favorite occupations. Knowing your friends are waiting for you motivates you for your regular walk, or to attend your book club or card club, or to show up for your fishing partner. If our body has changed due to a stroke, we may need to change how we continue to interact with our friends. We may need to ask for a ride to that book club or to that place of worship. Occupations can also help us continue our social relationships or find new friends. Maybe you can no longer participate in your bowling league, but you decide to join a knitting club or a mahjong club. Participating in group activities helps us to build relationships. For many, one of the changes they experience after a stroke is the effect on their income. You may now be living on a fixed income. There are many ways to continue to participate in favorite or new occupations on a budget. Just like you might bargain hunt when shopping, you can bargain hunt for great experiences as well. Many cities provide free concerts in the park in the summer. Where I live in Chicago, we have many events in Millennium Park, such as the Chicago Symphony Orchestra or movies in the park. But also, all the neighborhood parks offer a variety of events, including concerts, movies, and even dancing. Can you think of other ways you can save money and still do fun and new things? Many restaurants offer lower prices if you go for lunch instead of dinner. Many museums offer a free day or even a free month. Connect with your friends and see who can find the most low or no-cost ideas. There may be special events you would still like to attend or trips you'd like to take despite your budget constraints. It can be helpful to open a special banking account to specifically save for those important opportunities. If you use online banking, it can be very simple to move $5 a week into this account, and you probably won't even miss it. Or you can work with your bank or financial manager to have the amount of your choice automatically moved to this account when your monthly check arrives. If you'd like to know if an occupational therapist can help you return to your favorite occupations or find new ones, please contact us today at moxieot.com or call 312-884-9182 for a free 15-minute consultation. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good one.